Hey everyone, this is Aspen Connor. I just wanted to bring you a few updates from court today as we sit here tonight on the final night of the Delphi trial against Richard Allen for the murder of Abby and Libby. It's been a very emotional day for everyone involved. None of us, of course, matter, but these families, these girls in this town absolutely matter. I just wanted to bring a few updates that I had received that I wasn't sure had been completely reported on. But as far as like the timeline of events today, I know that the press was notified at 1:12 p.m. that there had been a verdict reached. At 2:11 p.m., Judge Gull entered the courtroom. The jury had, at that point, deliberated for a total of 19 hours, over 4 days. Judge Gull did make a statement about outbursts in the courtroom and how if you wanted to take your drama or aggression out, to do it outside, basically. I'm paraphrasing. But it was something along those lines that she was not going to tolerate any sort of nonsense inside the courtroom, which is something we've seen throughout this trial. I know that the jury then came in at 2:19 p.m. I know that juror number 11 apparently was the foreman of the jury. Richard Allen seemed calm. He seemed resolved to whatever his fate was going to be. The verdicts were read quickly by Judge Gull. She then asked the prosecution if they wanted to do a poll of the jury. Nick McClellan said no. One of the defense attorneys, though, asked that they do, so they did poll the jurors individually, and as we all know by now, they all returned a guilty verdict on all 4 counts. Those counts can range anywhere between 55 to 150 years, apparently. I'm assuming death penalty is off of the table now. I know that Richard Allen's family responded in an understandable manner as far as, being upset. I was told that he at one point looked back and mouthed either the words, "Are you okay?" or "It's okay" to his family. His mother saw it, nudged Kathy Allen, who then looked up. He said it again. I believe that he either said, "Are you okay?" or he was telling them it's okay. The jury then left by 2:22 p.m. At that point, I believe that the victims' families were, of course, in an emotional state. I believe I heard that, the grandmother of Libby German and the mother of Abigail Williams embraced, which is understandable considering the emotion everyone has endured in this case. I know that Libby German's birth mother cried. I can't imagine the emotions these families went through today. But I do want to say that they then did go into sentencing, and Judge Gull gave them several options as far as dates. She looked at her calendar. There were a few dates in January that Nick McClellan, I guess, was unsure of whether he had a conference or something or not. They basically came to the agreement of December 20th. So sentencing on this case will be held December 20th at 9 a.m. Other than that, I know that the large gathering outside became a bit chaotic. There were people on all sides of the spectrum that felt different ways. At one point, I think the law enforcement came out and threatened to remove people. They did have Richard Allen's family leave the courtroom first. They then allowed Libby and Abby's family to leave the courtroom. They had Richard Allen removed. And then they made the public and the media sit for a time. And my assumption on that is that they were giving Richard Allen time to have left the premises to avoid any security risks. I've heard lots of speculation about people's feelings and how people felt and how people appeared. I'm not gonna infer intent on anyone's emotional state at that time, because I can't even imagine what it would be like to be Libby or Abby's family, or to be Richard Allen's family, to be frank. I know that come December 20th, we'll have a sentencing hearing. The gag order was extended until sentencing, and I'm looking through my notes. I apologize. It's been a long day. It's been a very emotional day. Understandably, again, this is not about any of us, but anyone that's cared about this case, of course, is going to be affected by the outcome of it, whether you're pleased or you're displeased with the verdict. I think that the defense has already filed a notice of appeal. I was told by one person that in the family that this is not the end, but this is a good day. I know that law enforcement was seen congratulating each other inside the courtroom, patting each other on the back, hugging, congratulating each other. I would assume Nick McClellan was receiving praise and congratulations from people. I know that before the jury actually read the verdict, when they announced there would be a verdict and they gave us a 2-hour warning, there were people outside the courtroom. Someone even began playing religious music and was seen singing, Holy Spirit, you are here, which I'm sure is moving and helpful to a lot of people in situations like this. As far as anything else is concerned that we learned this afternoon, I know that Rosie was seen, defense attorney and Brad Rosie was seen leaving, holding hands with Richard Allen's sister. When Kathy Allen came out of the courthouse, she was holding hands with Jennifer Auger, who is the female defense attorney, and also being embraced by a YouTuber, I believe, named Bob Mata. And she made a statement that this is far from over, or this is not over, something to that effect. There was a bit of contention when Gull first entered the courtroom because the defense two members of the defense team and the defense family was not present in court, and she'd given them time, and she made a comment about wasting an hour. But again, those are just details that were told to me. I've heard that the jury remained stoic during their entire time in the courtroom, even as each one of them delivered their individual polling of their verdict. They remained stoic. And just from the feelings I've gotten from people I've talked to in town since the verdict came down, there's an overwhelming sense of relief in this town. I mean, you can see behind me the Carroll County Courthouse is deserted. It's, you know, there's no one else around. I'm sitting outside of the courthouse in Delphi. I wanted to do a quick update with just a few of these details, like I said, and I'm sorry that this is not a very curated video, but I've run the gamut of emotions today as well, so I don't really have it in me to edit and compose this in the way I probably should, but I have factually, you know, confirmed every piece of information I had. And one thing I know that the media had been trying to get a hold of all day is until sentencing as well. So hopefully people will not try to find them, will not try to reach out to them. I hope above anything else that the families of Libby and Abby can wake up tomorrow and find a purpose that doesn't involve bringing this to a resolution, because I believe it's now been brought to a resolution. I hope that they can begin to focus on the next chapter of what their grieving may look like. And knowing these families, I believe that'll look like something that involves helping other people for sure, because that's just who these people seem to be. I think this town deserves some peace. I think this town deserves to heal. I think these families deserve the opportunity to close this chapter and to begin to see what the next chapter brings, whether that be healing or whether it be the next state of grieving. We do have sentencing on the 20th. I know there will be an appeal. Whether or not that appeal is successful, no one knows. I doubt it. I think that we've come to the conclusion of the Delphi case. I think that we have the answers that we are going to have. And above anything else, I just hope that people continue to pray for Libby and Abby, for the town of Delphi, and for the families of those girls, and for the family of Richard Allen as well. Because there have been a numerous amounts of people victimized by this brutal double homicide. And I myself hope that I can do anything possible to help, and in whatever way I can, to help these people in this community heal. My heart is broken for these families. My heart is broken for this town. But this was a good day for justice for Libby and Abby, which I don't believe in justice, but it was a good day. It doesn't bring them back. Those girls are gone. They'll never be here again. But this was an important bookmark in the end of this chapter, so that these families can begin to heal and move on and see what's next. Anyway, this is Aspen Connor. I'm outside of the Carroll County Courthouse. It's cold. I am going to go to bed, and I will see you all later. I thank you so much for watching this video, and I appreciate all of you. Have a good night. And prayers for Libby and Abby and their families. Well, as you may have noticed, I did actually end up editing out one part of the video, and it wasn't because I didn't get confirmation on it. It's just because I wasn't comfortable reporting it, and I was told by two separate sources that the jury was instructed that they are not to speak to the media or to anyone regarding the case until after sentencing. I didn't feel comfortable reporting on that simply because I don't know the legality of that. I don't, after reviewing the original gag order, don't see anywhere where there's a stipulation in there that would say that. And although it has been claimed to me by people in an authority position, I just am not a lawyer. I'm not going to report something that I don't know 100%. And until I see a filing or something that does include the jury in some formal manner, I don't know what legal basis there would be for that. So that said, just to be transparent, that was the only part of the episode I had edited out, and it's because I would never want to report something that I didn't believe wholeheartedly. Here are also the words spoken by law enforcement when they did come out and address the public after the verdict had been
Really,
read.
there's just going to be more of a scramble. There's nothing way on the other. There's
Rachel.
So obviously everybody has already got the news of the verdict. With that being said, Judge Gull has not lifted the gag order, so we're not going to be able to make any type of public statement at this point. We'll be looking forward to having something scheduled a month from now at following sentencing. So with that, that's all that we're going to be able to say at this time. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Over there.